people love to say it's my right to have a break, but it's not in Pennsylvania unless you're a minor.
Oh, it's not?
No. And so it's always interesting when people, exactly, like it's stuff like that. Or if, people are upset, don't understand the impact of federal government being, dismantled at this point. But to put it in context, Georgia's minimum wage is still $4.15 an hour. If the federal government goes away and their minimum, so every state has a minimum wage. And so if the federal, but everyone has a line at minimum to the federal, which is $7.25. Whole another conversation, but it's only $7.25. So if that gets disbanded and you're relying on the state. If I live in the state of Georgia, a company can pay me $4.15 an hour legally. Right. And so people don't understand when they are saying the government provides a lot more protection than they think, because they make other states that aren't as progressive be held to a standard. Maybe not the standard you think, but a standard.
Hey, y'all. It is I, your girl, Melissa Nicole, and you are back for another episode of Black by Nature, City by Choice. And today I have Miss Evelyn.
Hello.
Introduce yourself to the people.
I'm Evelyn. I'm on social media known as HR Jawn. And I'm so happy to be here with you, Melissa. We're going to talk about a few of my brands.
Yes. So Evelyn has 3 main core brands. Okay,
yes.
The first one we're going to talk about is HR Jawn, because she is that girl. She has been in HR for about 15 or so years?
Yes, almost 20 now.
Yes. And in doing so, she has decided to then branch off into being an entrepreneur. So before we get to the whole entrepreneur piece, how is it to be an HR Jawn?
It's a funny story how I got to HR Jawn. So originally when I was going on social media, I was tagged everything HR plug. And so when I finally got my business together and I went to go trademark, I realized someone had the trademark. And I was like, oh, how could this be? I'm going to fight this. And so when I looked to see who it was this black girl, young black girl around my age. And I was like, oh, I can't do that to another sister. No, I'm going back to the drawing board. And we actually wound up connecting years later, getting to that later. So I went in there and someone was like, but you so Philly, why don't you use Jawn? I was like, oh, HR Jawn. And so that's how I got to HR Jawn.
Okay.
But for me, in social media, I'm kind of not, I'm not going to say kind of, I'm not on there personally. It's really just my brands. But HR Jawn is, my outlet for professional setting, because HR is my professional choice. We were talking before and I was telling you, like, it's the career I choose because I'm multi-talented. I can do a lot of things. Like, I'm tech, I can do finance, I can do operations, I can do so many things. But I choose HR every day because that's my passion. And so I went to, HR, and for the people, I want them to know is sometimes they don't really understand the rights they have. They think everything is done to them, and they don't really understand sometimes the limits. Now, that's not to say there's some things don't happen. Not saying that, right? But, we were talking earlier, just one context, right? People think, oh, it's my right to have a break. Well, in Pennsylvania, technically it's not. Unless you're a minor. Right. Like most people, you would think, especially with Pennsylvania being a heavy union state, you would think, right? But it's not. And it's so interesting. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, here's the state website. You can see. And unless you're 17 or under, that's not you. You're 18 or older. There's no law for you. Now, I would hope your company has a policy for that and all that. But, it's little things like that people think, someone's out to get them when technically they're just being legally compliant. Maybe not morally or ethically, but legally. And so, I feel like I want to break down those things, like those silos and those, those kind of contexts. But then also, I found we sometimes don't know how to advocate, articulate our concerns.
Very true.
And it doesn't mean we're not right. It's just that they're so focused on how we reacted or how we said something, than the whole context of how we even got here. And so I like to, coach people in, let's get through that so you can get heard.
Yes.
And my, people I work with, they'll tell you, I like to cut through all the nonsense. Let's get to the root of it.
Exactly. You should, especially in HR. Let's get to the root of the problem.
Like my managers, I've told managers to their face, you're a liar. Because the definitions of a liar is someone who tells lies. You told me a lie, so that makes you a liar.
How did they react to that? How did they take it?
Well, isn't that the definition? I mean, am I telling a lie? I'm not the liar here. I mean, you can get it, but the facts are the facts. You're trying to tell me you need to write this employee up, they're so bad, but you never said one conversation to them. But you told me you had all these things. At this point, they look more honest than you. They look more trustworthy. So I have to advocate for all employees, and that's how the stance I take, right? And so I tell people all the time, I want to be an advocate for you while an agent of this company, right, of your employer. And so I want to find a bridge. No, we can't give you $1 million, but if you're asking for kindness, decency, and respect, absolutely, that's the bare minimum. And let's get to how we get there. And so with HR, Jawn, I use that platform to do a lot of that. And so, but work can take a toll, right? And I experienced that. I was working like 19 plus hour days, 7 days a week. Like my 7th day was traveling to another state, back to back to back. And when you're in it doesn't seem crazy, but it was wow. Yes. And so much so, like my body physically shut down on me. I woke up blind for 2 weeks, literally. Wow. Like I've never in my, I don't hope no one ever has experienced it. And so that's how I got diagnosed with uveitis. And most people, it's an eye condition. Most people get it once in their lifetime if they ever experience. I have been a medical anomaly. I've gotten it reoccurringly. Wow. It's like I'm probably on like my 6th stint now.
Wow. So is that a stress induced?
So that's the thing. They don't say it's related to stress, but I've been telling them, I think. But every the normal tests that they take and all that come back regular. Like they can't figure out what's triggering it. Although I keep telling them I only get it around stressful situations, but they refuse to acknowledge it's stress induced. But that's a whole nother medical thing. But through that, I had to sit out of work for a whole month because, 2 weeks blind. And then, I had to go through a lot of treatments, figuring out what's testing and all that. Like a heavy steroid, treatment for my eyes. So I'm going blind. And I was telling you, I have to sometimes wear glasses, even in the house. I'm not too cool sometimes. I really can't see if I don't have my shades on. And so through that time, though, I realized I had no life. My life was work. So I'm sitting, I'm stressed, depressed, and and someone was like, well, find something to do. And I was just like, okay. So I went to therapy, she was like, well, what do you like? I was like, I don't know. All I know is work. All I do day in, day out, work. And so she was like, you need to find things that love. And so I'm big on do it yourself stuff, DIY. Can't talk to guys. Big on that. But so I was going on YouTube University, right? And I came across this candle, making candles. And I was like, oh, that sounds like something I could do. And so I said, you know what? Christmas coming up. I'm going to get some nice little candles. And so I made all these little candles for my family and friends and put them in gift bags and all this. And, I make oils. My niece was having real bad hair issues, and it was just not growing, and it was getting a little dry. So I went online and researched a few oils and some herbs and stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this together because I think I'm a chemist sometimes, but I'm not.
Add to that resume, okay?
I'm gonna get this together. So I made her that, and I was like, it was doing good. So I was like, I'll make some more for everybody in there. So I made these little gift bags, and everyone was like, oh my God, we love them. Really? And so fast forward, I had this brunch, and part of the favors, I'm real big on giving people gifts when they come out the thing. So part of the favors I made for everyone were candles, and they were a big hit for everyone. They were like, how you make this? I was like, yeah. And so they were like, you should really tell this. And I was like, you think? I was like, oh, okay. So that's kind of how we got After Effects. And I am purposeful about making it small batch because I do not want this to be a machine because it's a passion for me, and I still want to continue to love it. So, people ask I'm not looking to mass sell it. I promise you I'm not. That's just not who I am. But I do enjoy doing it. And, if I can make a few coins from it, great. If I don't, I'm okay. I'm still going to do it. My house still has all these candles, And I was telling you, I experiment with the air fresheners, and that's kind of how I got those out there. So it was a labor of love.
Yes. Okay, so we love a good backstory and how you became an entrepreneur. So since she did mention her candles, she sent me a gift. So here it is, y'all. Okay, After Effects. It's a vibe. Let me open it for you all. Okay, can y'all see that? Y'all see the goodies that are in here. So we have.
That's one of our traveling
this
candles.
Is a small batch candle.
It's actually one I use myself when I travel. I actually buy a coffee warmer. Anyone who knows those little warmers you put on your table, and just buy those and carry that with me for the hotels because you can't light a candle so that it warms.
That makes so much
and I put them right in the bathroom, so as soon as you come into the hotel, you can smell them. Oh, it's amazing.
Wow! Ooh, we have some oil here.
Has herbs in there, rose petals and a few other herbs, but that's with the pink eye. And as I was telling you before, I'm real big on energies.
Yes, so we have
so you have your sage and your Palo Santo wood in there as well.
Yes. And what is it? Because I was new to it. Remember when I bought the one that gifted to my sister? We were trying to figure out. So explain, what do you use this for?
So both of them are for cleansing the energy, right?
Okay.
And preference when you say that, like, don't have your windows and your doors open because you can't cleanse nothing if you shut in. So, do it in open spaces, or if you're in the house, open up the spaces so you can get the bad energies out.
Mm-hmm. It also comes with some matches. All right. And then also, this is one of my favorites. She ran out because she sold out, but this room spray, y'all smell it? It smells so heavenly. Like, I especially love this for my bathroom. Okay, let me just dote on you a little bit, okay? I especially love this for my bathroom because after I take a shower, it's kind of warm and steamy. This just makes me feel like I have an at-home spot. I just love it. And then I'll just even go through and just spray it in the hallway. I even sprayed it down here today. Like, this smells so good, okay? So when this does restock, make sure you get that, okay?
Shameless plug. After Effects, like, tagline is, your before and your after experiences should never be the same. So
I like that. Yes. Okay. So my next question too, because when you were mentioning about how you got your you were sick and everything, I wondered too if it was hard for you to find balance because you said that HR is your passion. So, and I feel like, sometimes when we have something we're really passionate about, it's really hard for us to like realize, when is enough or when, not even to say enough, but when should I just take a break? When should I rest?
Absolutely. I think when therapy helps for those who go. And I think for me, because I'm a compartmentalized person, right? Like, I can literally not like you, but do right by you because I can't equate sometimes the two, right? Like, just because I don't like you doesn't mean I can't do right, And some people, I recognize some people can't do that, but that's just how I operate. I'm very compartmentalized. And so much so, like, even my friend groups were compartmentalized for a very long time. Like, I had my, my homegirls that I grew up with, my college girlfriends, my work girl, everyone was compartmentalized because every space had a place. Yeah. And I felt like, even talking to therapy, it was like I was wearing myself thin trying to fit in all these spaces when I just needed to show up as me.
Very true.
Whole me. Like, and just dump it all together. And you'll weed out what don't work and that work. And but the ones that work will stay. It'll be there. And and come into terms with that, giving myself grace with that. That comes through just self-reflection. And so I tell people, like, I'm at a point where I'm fully self-aware of me. There's nothing you can tell me about me that I don't already know.
I know that's right.
And so I take that into the workplace too. Like, when someone tells me, that was very aggressive. No, it was direct, but there was nothing aggressive about it. And if it was aggressive, walk me through what was aggressive about it. And let's have so you can't use targeted words to me because I'm clear about who I am.
Yes, exactly.
Have you said me that was absolutely, it was meant to be. I wanted you not to be unsure about where we were going. So it was absolutely meant to be direct.
Yes.
And so I think, I've learned to give myself grace through, and I even tell my team, like, lessons are meant to be learned. And so when you make a mistake, instead of dwelling on the mistake, learn the lesson and move on. So, okay, I know I ain't gonna do that no more, but I learned it and I can move on from it. I'm not gonna keep it, hold me down.
Yes, very true. And you shouldn't. And another thing you mentioned that I found very interesting. So you felt like you had to be different versions of yourself in the friendships?
I wouldn't necessarily have different versions, but you think about it when you're in the workplace, like, you code switch.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and so they don't know the full version of you. They know the version that they see at work. So, there might be, like, when I'm at home, like, I'm chilled, I'm relaxed, but I'm very much, more corporate piece, when I'm at work. So they know that Evelyn. They didn't know that at home, that at home happened, and vice versa. Like, when I'm in school, like, I'm on my academics, like, I'm focused, so they know that, the go-getter, but they may not know that, that Evelyn just wants to kick her feet up, not be bothered with nobody and be dumb as a doorknob sitting at home watching, my reality, But, and so I was very compartmentalized with the people I was because, like, I know this is space, I can just do this, this is, and it was a lot. And so I learned, I'm going to do this in any space, and you either like it or
you don't. That's very true. And I just asked that because I think I often hear friends, especially like women, more so like wondering how can we mix all the friends together. Sometimes it's like, I don't know if this one will get along with that one. So that's why I found that kind of interesting. I definitely know with the whole work people,
and I have those.
May get somebody different.
Some people don't, and I'm very much on respect. You ain't got to like a person. That's totally fine. But you will respect that person. And I won't allow you in my space to disrespect someone that I care about. So you might not like them.
as totally a business, and I
Yes.
make sure that if they're involved in something, that I'll give you the warning that so you can make the decision of how you want to move.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to be sitting here, yeah, girl, no, that's just not me.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if that's what you're looking for, we not going to be.
Yes.
I'm tired of you, like
right. Definitely for you on that. What does being a Black business owner in Philadelphia mean to you?
I think it's me being that role model that I wanted to see, and that role model that I hope I'm being to my niece. A niece, should I say? I say my niece because she's the one that's always at my house, but I have multiple nieces.
Is she your favorite? I don't want to.
I want to say favorite, the one I see the most.
Okay.
So I do see her. I love you, but no. So giving them something to look back and say, I did that. I want to be like that, and giving little girls in the community say, I see her come from, I'm from South Philly, like, I'm from Brighton, like, I see her do this, and she's doing this, I can do this. Yes, you can, and let me show you how. Like, I'm big on, if you need just help, I will help any and everybody. Like, maybe it's not the best business. But I'm big on I can help you get you started. Like, I want to help any and everybody because I feel like that's all somebody needs, that encouragement. And if I can be that, like to say, you know what, you was that voice that just kept me going. I'm happy to do that. Now I know when I feel like I'm being used, and I have no problem saying, look, we want to make this a paid consultation, but I'm big on giving away free consultations to people often.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So with that being said, too, what would you say has because I know you said you want to be what the other little girls haven't had, but has there been anyone that's been influential in your life that let you know that you can do this?
Absolutely. And I think maybe not because they were entrepreneurs, right? Like, I look at, my mom, she was a hard worker, right? Like, I look back and think, like, how the heck she raised 4 kids by herself, and the salary she was making, because I make darn near 4 times what my mom was making, and then it's just me, and I'd be like, how, sis?
Yeah.
And barely got public assistance, like, because she worked and couldn't meet the requirements, and so it was just like, to me that was inspirational, seeing her get up and grind every day and do that, right? And so that instilled that work ethic in me. Like, I feel like there might be people smarter than me, people might do more than me, but no one's gonna work harder. Like, my work ethic is impeccable. Like, there's no one who's ever worked with me can say anything less than that. And so I see other women, my friends, like people I gravitate to, I'm inspired by them every day. Like, I tell them all the time, like, I have my one girlfriend, I think she's one of the most amazing mothers in the world, right? Like, watching her raise her her 3 daughters, it's like so like refreshing to see, like, a mother just pour into her kids like that. And I tell her every day, like, you're an amazing mother, right? Like, I look at my other girlfriend, she's a mom, an entrepreneur, like a like, how? I'm struggling. Like, you are amazing. Like, you're the definition of superwoman, right? Like, and her mom, no, I need you to know that ain't normal. I can't do that. But she makes it look normal, right? And so it's like, people I surround myself, I get inspired by them. Even my mentees, people I met, like, I look at them, it's like, wow, like, at your age, I'm thinking about these things. Like, it's amazing to see, like, I think I gravitate to people who inspire me in some way, some fashion, right? And who give me that extra push, right? Like, I'm a strong proponent of bringing the next person in. So I'm not a, gatekeeper. I refuse. My team, like, my only goal is for you to have my job. Like, if I feel like if you get to a point you have my job, I'm successful. Because to me, that means I need to level up or step aside, right? Like, I need to do one or the other, and I'm a grinder. So I'm leveling. I know I'm leveling up, right? There's no question on that. And so I need you to do the same. Like, I want to pull you along, where, like, I've had managers who've told me to my face that they're intimidated by me.
Oh, wow. And they told you? I'm shocked they told you.
Because I asked, I was like, I don't understand what our problem. Like, I thought we were, and she was like, well, I really think you want my job and you intimidate me. I'm like, what? And the crazy part is, to know me is to know how loyal I am. So if you knew me, you would know, like, I would never do that to someone who I genuinely looked up, and I looked up to that woman, right? Like, so in my mind, like, I went to her boss and had a conversation with her boss about how she talked to her in meetings because people weren't respecting her.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like, you thought I wanted, first of all, they don't respect you. But I respected you enough that I wouldn't even do that to you.
Like, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so, and I get it. And not everybody has that in them, right? And so
Mhm.
I think to know me is to know, you know, I want to see the best in everyone.
Mhm.
And so I try to do that for everyone.
Yes. Mm. So that makes me think too, because I mean, you said you you just asked the lady, but when you typically get those type of challenges, how do you deal with those?
Gotta take a sip of
You
that.
know?
No, for me, I deal with them head on. So most people don't like conflict.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I kind of thrive in it, honestly, and not in the sense like I want conflict, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna face it head on. We gonna get
Mhm.
to the root of it so we can move on.
Yes.
Like I want to tell people, once we talk about, like, I really move on. Like I'm like, you
Mhm.
still, like, I thought we was
You
friends.
know? Exactly.
I legit will, like, girl, I'm over that. Like, I'm
Mhm.
sorry that you still on it, but
Yeah.
I promise you, I'm not
Yeah.
thinking about it no more. And so that's why for me it's like I don't want to race from conflict because conflict just keeps the inevitable going,
Yes,
right?
it does.
And so I like that. Like I felt like there was. I'm like, what is wrong with it? Like, so I
Mhm.
genuinely wanted to get to it because if I'm truly offending you, I want to fix it and apologize, right? Because
Mhm.
that's never my intent.
Mhm.
I'm always pure in my intent. So
Mhm.
if anything I did hurt you in a way that I had not intended, I want to apologize.
Mhm.
Not the apology, but no, I apologize
Exactly.
because that was never my intention. So I
Mhm.
want you to know I am truly sorry for that and
Mhm.
how it landed because I did not mean that to land like that at all.
Mhm.
And I'm woman enough to do that, right? And so I just feel like I demand the same from others.
Mhm.
So if you're going to be in my space, I demand the same from others.
Yes. Same respect. Totally
Absolutely.
understandable.
I'm big on respect.
Yes.
Big on.
And I'm just glad too that you're big on communication because I've met some HR professionals. I'm like, well, you're HR. This is your whole job to get the people together. So it's like, why are you not doing that? So I feel like for me, that's one thing I noticed that sets you apart. But what else would you say sets you apart? It's not only as an HR professional, but also as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. I would say probably my passion and my genuineness. My passion and my genuineness, right? I think again, I said like my work ethics before, but I think those things are authentically who I am. So you're really buying me, right? The person. I think it's less about the products and all of those. Those, if you know me, are going to be quality, right? And if they're not, I'm going to make sure that we rectify the situation for you. So I think you'll know anything I put out there is going to be quality. But I need you to understand who I am, and that's one of the things I'm stepping into this season. You know, we were talking about is I'm extremely honest, but I'm very limited in transparency. And if people are like, "What do you mean by that?"
I was saying because I was going to say, I'm like, well, that's a very thin line,
right? And so you ask me anything, I'll give you an answer. Honestly, like I'm also the person that say, "Do you genuinely want the truth, like, or do you want us to skate around this question?" Because I'm gonna give you the truth. I'm not the person that asks things.
Yes.
So, but in that same breath, I'm not the one to volunteer anything.
Gotcha.
And so there's times like there's so much stuff that I've been in and done, and people are like, "I didn't know that. Why didn't I have to broadcast?" You know, even like in my relationship, like people like you post something, it's like I could be in a whole full blown relationship, or I could be posting about love and be completely single. Like that to me has no correlation to the things. And so I've learned in that sometimes people think that I'm guarded, and it's like it's not. I am guarded, but it's not that I'm guarded from that. It's more because I have to be very meticulous of the energies I keep in my personal space. I have to make sure that the people that I surround myself are, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to think of the right word because I worthy of it, right?
Gotcha,
like I guess it might take still offense to somebody, but I feel like because I'm at this age, I'm protecting what makes me balance, what gives me harmony, right? Like I'm protecting that at all costs. And if your hurt feelings is the cost of that, I'm okay with that because my hurt feelings ain't gonna happen no more. So I'm okay about but I'm also okay with knowing that we just won't be in the same spaces no more. When I make those decisions, so that's kind of what I think makes me.
Okay. And then speaking of harmony, because you also have the harmony hour, okay, tell the people a little bit more about that.
Yes. So Harmony Hour is my communications platform and where I get my thought leadership and, things out in that manner. So I have a newsletter on LinkedIn called the Harmony Hour, and it's also linked down to my website. And then I also will be starting Harmony Hour Talks. So the newsletter is Harmony Hour Thoughts, and so the talks will be on YouTube. So they'll be coming soon. And that's, again, another notch into me trying to be more transparent. So I'll be answering some questions. I'll have some guests. A little shameless plug out here. And so, just get into some things. So there'll be a variety of my brands on there. And, hopefully some other brands, and, just talking about all the things that matter and, creating balance and harmony for people. So I'm big on books. So you'll hear some books recommendations, business, love music. So I, infuse actually music in a lot of my courses and speeches that I do. So it's always books, beats, and balance, and books. Make sure I'm saying that right. Books, beats, balance.
Oh, BBB. Okay. We love alliteration.
Yeah. So, and I'm excited for it.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So once I get her information on the YouTube page, I'll be sure to insert that in here. Okay.
Check me out, y'all.
Yes, please do. So is there any advice, because we see that you are a woman of multiple talents, is there any advice that you would give to an inspiring entrepreneur?
Just grind. I think one of the biggest mistakes we do as entrepreneurs is we make our problems our customer problems. And then that gives the whole brand a bad name, right? There's never a time where what I'm dealing with in my business that inflicts to my customer, right? Like, if I don't have something, I don't have it, so I need to refund that customer immediately and let them know, right? Like, I can't make them, you have to wait and I'm not getting, that's inappropriate. If I'm short staffed, like, that's a me problem. So now I need to rectify it with my customer in a manner that is appropriate, right? Like, I can't bring it, I might take a bullet for it, right? Like, I've taken several hits. Like, I don't make as much money as people think I make on my businesses because I still have a full-time job that I make, like, so I'm less concerned about that. So I'm more focused on, my impact and what I'm leaving with someone.
Yes. And she has great customer service. That I know from experience as well. So I really feel like that's something too, especially as a Black owned business, because sometimes, we kind of get that little thing when it comes to customer service. So I just love that you said that. Really
I'm big on customer service. Like, that can be the make or break. I shout out to this brand, this handbag brand, Black owned too, Adara. I'm sorry, I'm not saying it right. Adara. I got one of their bags, so a couple of their bags actually. But they sent me the wrong bag the first time. Just and I was fully prepared to send it back to them. I was just like, hey, unfortunately, I love the bag, but it's not the one I, He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, just send me, how are you gonna send me a box, or do I need, They're like, no, you keep that bag. We're actually gonna send it out. This is our mistake. We're so sorry. And it was just like, awesome. No, I recognize you're a small business, like, and we appreciate that, but no, you. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, and these are $600 bags. Like, to be clear, like, these aren't like we're getting bags. Yeah. That's why I was fully prepared to give them back. Yes. And I was so shocked by that, like, because it was like immediate. Like, I didn't feel like I did something wrong in that situation. Even I know I didn't, but sometimes businesses make you feel like that. And it's like, first of all, I did nothing wrong. Second of all, I'm your customer. Like, and now it's like, now I'm completely jaded by you. And so for them, like, they have stuck out in my brain, like, absolutely so much, because that just warmed my heart. So I tell everybody, like, if they are a good brand. Even if I see people doing post Black, I tag them because I just literally love that about them.
And then in the long run too, for them, that'll build customer loyalty. Because see, now they got you as a customer for life. Okay. So yes, that's awesome. How does your business contribute to the local community?
So one of the things I leverage, my business savvy is connections. And this year, my intention was to join a board specifically in education. But one of my passions of retirement is getting to education. So, and one of the things I like to do is learn a business from inside out. And so joining a board for me will give me that high level I need to understand the ins and out on the lower level, as I like to call it. And so I put the ads out on LinkedIn, and one of my committee members becoming a close work friend,
Mhm.
reached out to me and was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were interested. I'm actually on the board of this charter school, and we're actually looking." I was like, "Get out of here! Like, look at the
Wow.
alignment, right? Look at the
Yes.
harmony there."
Yes. Okay.
And so she connected me with the CEO. We had like a great conversation. Actually, just did my walk site with them this week, so I'm officially a board of trustees on
Oh,
that charter school. So
congratulations.
you'll be seeing me give my impact there, specifically in the HR space. That's my profession. And I just love helping kids. Like, I think kids are like our future.
Yes,
Like,
they are.
I have so much patience for
They
kids
are.
than I have adults. Because kids don't
You're
know,
not the
y'all.
only
They
one.
don't know.
Exactly. Exactly. As an adult, when you reach a certain age, it's like, well, we won't figure it out, honey.
Like, you this big old age, you should have figured it out. At least with the child, you're like, I might not have liked it, but baby don't know. Baby just don't know.
Exactly.
Let me give you some schooling because you really don't know. As much as, and I think that's what people forget, right? Like, they're like, these kids are like, they're kids.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
And you took away the community center, you took away all the activities in school,
Yes.
Well, what do you expect them to be doing?
Yep.
Getting in trouble because they ain't got nothing else to do.
Exactly.
Give them something else to do. And it's like, people don't understand the correlation of those things. So I'm happy to be giving back to the kids.
That's awesome. Big things going on here.
I'm trying. All right, before we get out of here, I did bring you another gift.
Feels so special. Oh, look at this. Okay, look. Okay, y'all know I'm a sucker. You can follow me for all you know. I'm a sucker for good packaging. Okay, this is beautiful.
And so I'm going to do the CR3 signature scents. Okay. Those are regular size candles.
And I feel like I could even smell it already outside the box. I'm not, no lie, I really do.
I love Melissa, y'all.
Oh, wow, and these are nice signs. Ooh, the calm before the storm.
Yes. So that was actually my very first one. Really, and that has lavender undertones within it. And I mix all of the candles with essential oils to set the moods right, because how can you shift your energies? And herbs as well. So it's not common to see herbs in there. Yes, always have matches in there.
You had no excuse to light your candle right away. Now we have true devotion.
True devotion. And that's about love, right? Like and not just the love out there, self-love as well, right? And that's infused with rose petals. I'm big on rose petals as well.
It smells heavenly. It smells very, very
good.
And
this one's a fan favorite, honey and bourbon.
Oh yes, I got this in my box. This one smells really good. Oh, this is like sweet. Like you like sweet smells. This is it.
That is the one.
Yes.
And that one's infused with rosemary and no, just rosemary. That one's just.
Yes. I'm looking. Oh, I got more matches. I got enough matches to light for a while. Okay. I just love this. Thank you, Evelyn.
You're welcome, love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't come and not give this.
Okay. She is a true professional. Okay. All right.
I try.
Yes. Okay. So there you have it, you all. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Black by Nature, Philly by Choice. Time.
Hold up. Hey.
So y'all, we back. I was so excited about the candles. I forgot to let Evelyn let y'all know where you can find her. Evelyn, let the people know where they can find you.
www.experiencetheharmony.com, or you can get me on social media at HR Jawn or Effex Co. And at experience the harmony. Excuse me, can't talk today. I'm on Instagram and Threads, as well as I'll be on YouTube soon. And so connect with me. I am not on Facebook at all or Twitter.
Okay. So time again, y'all. I'm just so excited. I totally forgot this one is my favorite. Oh my God. Oh gosh. You know what? Now I got